In this section, we'll learn how to access the Palladium Care emergency call system at your property. On the desktop of your computer, you should have an icon called Palladium Care Emergency Call System. You simply double left mouse click on that icon, and it will access the emergency call system and open up a page. That page will be the home page or the login page of the emergency call system. You'll notice in the upper right hand corner it says log in. You'll need to click that word. You'll always want to enter the system as caregiver, and the password that you'll use is CARE. Once you type that, click OK, and you'll come to a page of menu choices for work that you can do and updates you can make in the emergency call system. Now we're going to walk through the process of moving a new resident into the emergency call system. From our main menu, after we've logged into the system, we'll click on Move In New Resident. We'll immediately see a list of all the rooms with the names of the residents that are currently living in those rooms. In this particular case, we're simply going to double click on room 101 because we want to add a second person to this room. The critical pieces of information are the first name, the last name, and the telephone number. So we will enter the first name, we'll enter the last name, and we'll go down to either the resident phone in room or the resident mobile phone, and we'll enter that information. Once we're sure we've entered that correctly, we'll click OK, move in. Now it gives us confirmation that training person, this new resident, has been moved in, and the next step is to actually assign a device or a personal help button to this resident. In the lower right hand corner, we'll click Assign Resident Device. Now we'll want to carefully follow the directions. We need to have a personal help button in our hand. A good one with a fresh battery, preferably a new device, one that we've taken from the box of extras that we have ready to go. And we want to have that in our hand and ready to press. Then we'll click on the Ready button. Once we clicked on the Ready button, we have 5 seconds to also press the emergency button on the pendant personal help button. Once we've done that, we will see a confirmation. I'm not actually doing it in this case, but we will see a confirmation show up in the lower left-hand corner of this screen that tells us that the system actually received a signal from the personal help button that we are using. Once we see that confirmation, we can be confident that we're ready to give that particular personal help button to the resident. We would simply click OK, Assign Device, and that new personal help button would now be assigned to that new resident. Well, now we're going to take a look at how to update a resident's information. This would be necessary when a resident changes their telephone number, for instance. So from our selection of menu choices, we see Update Residence Info, and we should click on that. Now we have an opportunity to either scroll down through all the residents and all of the rooms, or when we see the one we want to change, we can highlight it and double click it. It opens up the Update Information screen, and we can then make modifications to the telephone number, or we can modify the name potentially. This is not to be used when a person moves out or when a new resident moves in. That's a different transaction in the system. This is only to change the specific information about this particular resident. Once we've made the changes, we can choose OK, Save. It gives us confirmation, and then we choose Done, and we're back to the main menu again. Then we can log out, and close down. Take a look at some of the reporting options we have. When we first log in and we see our main screen with these choices, we'll notice we have some other choices across the top here. And one of them happens to be reports, which then gives us a complete list of the reports that we can actually access in the system that are pre-formatted. If we click an apartment list, for instance, and we choose click here to see report, we see this pre-formatted report of all the apartments in the building, as well as names of the residents and the telephone numbers we have in the system and what type of device they have. In this case, a pendant or a personal help button that utilizes off-site monitoring. Now, in this particular case, we can left mouse click and we can print this report should we wish. If we don't want to do that, we can simply close that window and we're right back here in the system where we choose Done, and we come back to the main list of reports. One of the reports that's particularly valuable is the Detailed Event Report. If we click on the Detailed Event Report, we're given a choice of time frames. Let's choose Now, one of the reports that's of particular value is the Detailed Event Report. So let's click on it, and we'll see that we have some choices of time frames. We can narrow down by choosing a specific time period, or we can just choose the last 30 days. Well, let's take a look at that report and see what's happened in this particular system over the last 30 days. And we see we have a whole bunch of different alarms that have occurred. We can print this report, of course, or we can look at it on screen and then simply close it, choose Done, and we're right back to the report list. Take a look at the reports and choose the ones that have value to you. When you're done with that, of course, don't forget to log out of the system and then close down this screen.